Am I the only one fed up with all the stereotypes about Latin America? Think Mexico, think cartels, think Brazil, think corruption, think Colombia, think cocaine. Sorry, but what a load of nonsense. For starters, Latin America covers 20 countries with more than 500 indigenous languages, so it makes no sense to lump them all into one narco-trafficking, AK-47 toting, Spanish-speaking, tortilla-eating, sombrero-wearing group. Yet prejudice abounds. The region can't seem to shake off outdated images of tin pot dictators and military juntas, despite the fact that 19 out of the 20 countries in Latin America today are democracies. Sorry, Cuba. Oh, and when Latin American nations were run by generals, they tended to be propped up by the United States, that beacon of liberty and democracy next door. And look, today the region does have the dubious distinction of being the most violent place on earth. But it's not all a hotbed of death and destruction. Chile, Argentina, Uruguay, they all have roughly similar homicide rates to the US, nor is it an ungovernable hellhole that everyone's trying to escape. In fact, there are now more Europeans emigrating to Latin America than the other way around, while Mexican immigration into the US has been sharply declining for a while now. So Donald, you know what you can do with that wall of yours. Look, no one will deny that there's a huge problem with inequality or poverty, but Mexico and Brazil are on course to becoming two of the world's biggest economies. 1 out of every 3 Latin Americans is already a member of the global middle class. And as recently as 2013, the world's richest person was Mexican telecoms tycoon Carlos Slim. Let's not forget either the more than a dozen Nobel Prizes for chemistry, medicine, peace, and of course, literature. And while France, Russia, China, the US all wait for their first female president, Latin Americans have had 9 of them. Equality also extends to same-sex marriage, legal in Argentina, Brazil, and Uruguay. What about the so-called American dream? Rags to riches, anyone having a chance to make it to the top. Remember when President Obama told us,
"In no other country on earth is my story even possible."
Tell that to Bolivian President Evo Morales, who went from poor farmer to president, or former Brazilian President Lula da Silva, who went from being a shoe shiner to leading his country, or the former bar bouncer and janitor from Argentina, who became the first non-European pope in 1200 years. Rest assured, the American dream, the Latin American dream, is well and truly alive.